The Kingdom of Fire and Ice, Iceland, welcomes you to its extraordinary scenery and natural treasures. With its magnificent glaciers, powerful waterfalls, and alluring northern lights, this little island country in the North Atlantic is one of the many treasures of our planet. Today, we discover Iceland's singular and spectacular beauty, from the fjords to glaciers and active volcanoes to the untamed black sand beaches of Reynisfjara along the south coast. We'll take you on a journey encompassing the fascinating history and culture of this magical nation, where mythology and tradition coexist peacefully with modernity. The breathtaking country is located on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is an area where three tectonic plates are slowly drifting apart. The two major continents are North America and Eurasia. The other microtectonic plate is called Hrepafleki. Iceland is a product of a mantle plume that generates twice as much volcanic material than the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, and it is responsible for its existence. This makes Iceland one of the most volcanically active places on Earth, with over 30 active volcanic systems, including both shield volcanoes and stratovolcanoes. A shield volcano is a broad dome volcano with gently sloping sides and characteristic of the eruption of magnesium and iron-rich lava. A stratovolcano, in contrast, is a volcano built up of alternative layers of lava and ash. The most famous active volcano in Iceland is Eyjafjallajökull, which last erupted in March 20, 2010, and caused widespread disruption on the island and to air travel across Europe. Another well-known active volcano in Iceland is Hekla, which has erupted over 20 times since the settlement of Iceland in the 9th century. Grímsvötn is Iceland's most active volcano, erupting on average every 5 to 10 years, with the most recent eruption occurring in 2011. Katla is another highly active volcano in Iceland and is located underneath the Mýrdalsjökull glacier. It has not erupted since 1918, but it's closely monitored by scientists due to its potential for a large, destructive eruption. Iceland's volcanic activity has contributed to the formation of its unique and dramatic landscapes, including black sand beaches along the south coast, geothermal hot springs near and scattered around a town called Flúðir, and towering mountains like Eyjafjallajökull, located in southern Iceland. While Iceland's active volcanoes are a source of fascination and attraction for tourists, they also present a serious threat to the country's population, infrastructure, air travel, and global weather patterns. Thus, an eruption not only disrupts Iceland, but also affects the rest of the world. Such an event causes health issues, economic problems, environmental problems, and devastation to livestock and crops on Iceland. Yet, there are also positive effects of such volcanic eruptions, such as the creation of new land and the fertilization of soil. To mitigate the risks posed by volcanic eruptions and protect its people and visitors, Iceland has developed sophisticated monitoring and emergency response systems. These systems include a location-based SMS alerting system that can send out alerts at scale and speed, ensuring that all citizens and tourists are informed and safe. Iceland is home to Europe's largest glacier, Vatnajökull, which covers an area of approximately 8,100 square kilometers and is up to 1,000 meters thick in some places. The island's glaciers are a result of its location in the North Atlantic, where cold air from the Arctic meets warm air from the Gulf Stream, creating a climate that is ideal for glacier formation. Glacial lakes, ice caves, and deep crevasses are just a few of the distinctive geological features that Iceland's glaciers have created. The glaciers also play an important role in shaping Iceland's rugged landscape, carving out deep valleys and steep mountains over millions of years. Due to their unique characteristics and stunning beauty, Iceland's glaciers have become a popular destination for tourists who come to hike, ski, and explore the icy landscapes. Tourists can also go exploring behind the curtains of waterfalls and swim in the Blue Lagoon. Climate change is significantly affecting Iceland's glaciers, causing many of them to rapidly retreat and shrink in size. This has significant implications for Iceland's environment, as well as global sea levels, which could rise considerably if all the world's glaciers were to melt. At the rate that the majority of Iceland's glaciers are currently melting, experts predict that they may disappear completely over the next 100 to 200 years. Ocean acidification, which might have a major effect on marine ecology, is a particular issue for Iceland. The ground at Hof has been rising by as much as 1.7 millimeters every year, according to GPS measurements. The rate of rise increases with distance from the melting glacier. For example, 20 minutes to the north, the ground is rising up to 3.8 centimeters annually. At this rate, Iceland could be iceless by 2200. Many stunning black sand beaches can be found in Iceland, which were created from volcanic elements that were eroded by the water. When volcanic rock and ash break down, black sand is produced, which is subsequently brought to the sea by rivers and glaciers and dumped on the shore. Reynisfjara, which is close to the southern Icelandic hamlet of Vikmýrdal, is the most well-known black sand beach in Iceland. Reynisfjara is well known for its unusual basalt columns and soaring cliffs, which serve as a haven for numerous seabirds, including puffins and guillemots. Another popular black sand beach in Iceland is Djúpalónsandur, located on the Snæfellsnes Peninsula in western Iceland. Djúpalónsandur is known for its dramatic rock formations and the rusting remnants of a shipwreck that occurred off the coast in the 1940s. Iceland's black sand beaches, with their unique geological features and stunning natural beauty, are a popular destination for tourists. However, these beaches can also be dangerous due to strong currents and waves, and visitors are advised to exercise caution when exploring them. The strong currents and waves are a result of the beach's location, which can be exposed to the open ocean and unpredictable weather conditions. These conditions can change rapidly, and visitors may find themselves in dangerous situations if they're not careful. Therefore, tourists need to take safety precautions such as following warning signs, staying within designated areas, and avoiding swimming or wading in the water. Despite the risks, the black sand beaches of Iceland continue to draw visitors from all over the world, who are captivated by their rugged and otherworldly beauty. These beaches are also a reminder of Iceland's unique geological history and the powerful forces of nature that have shaped the island's landscape over millions of years. A fjord is a long, narrow sea entrance that is encircled by steep cliffs or mountains on all sides. Fjords are formed by the erosion of glaciers as they carve out enormous valleys in the landscape. Islands with fjords are typically found in regions like Greenland, Iceland, and Norway that were formerly covered in glaciers during the last ice age. Because they may be miles long and hundreds of meters deep, fjords are popular tourist destinations because they're wonderful for sightseeing, sailing, and activities like trekking. The Geirangerfjord and the Nærøyfjord, both of which are UNESCO World Heritage Sites, are two of the most well-known fjords in the world and are found in Norway. Seals, fish, and whales are just a few of the many marine animals that benefit from the ecosystems that fjords offer. Due to their unique geological and ecological characteristics, fjords are considered to be some of the most important natural features in the world and are protected by various conservation measures. Iceland is once thought to have been part of a continent known as the Icelandic microcontinent, also known as the Icelandic Plateau. An international team of geophysicists and geologists has just offered a novel idea that suggests Iceland may be the last exposed fragment of Icelandia, a nearly Texas-sized continent that submerged beneath the North Atlantic Ocean around 10 million years ago. The idea that a continent formerly resided beneath Iceland is supported by geological and geophysical data, such as the presence of a thick crustal layer under Iceland and the neighboring seafloor. According to some geologists, the Iceland microcontinent may have split from Greenland millions of years ago when Pangaea split up, before submerging under the sea. Some experts contend that the so-called submerged continent is really a section of the Earth's crust that has been elevated and exposed above sea level as a result of volcanic activity. Research and investigation are still needed to determine the actual nature and size of the Icelandic microcontinent, and this continent's existence is still up for question in the scientific community. In various parts of Europe, including Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Iceland, Greenland, and even as far as North America, the discovery was made that Vikings used the caves as settlements. Tonsberg is generally regarded as the oldest city in Norway and is known as the first city founded by the Vikings. These discoveries were made by archaeologists and historians who studied the artifacts, structures, and other evidence left behind by the Vikings. You can still see the caves they used and the houses they built. Viking caves were often used as temporary shelters for travelers and explorers, or as storage spaces for food, tools, and other supplies. Viking settlements, on the other hand, were more permanent communities where people lived, farmed, and traded with each other. The Vikings were skilled seafarers who traveled across vast distances in their long ships, colonizing new lands and establishing trade networks. The discovery of Viking caves and settlements has shed light on the daily life, customs, and beliefs of this fascinating culture, and has helped to fill the gaps in our understanding of the Viking Age. Some of the most notable Viking settlements include Jorvik in England, Hedeby in Germany, and the Norse colony at Lons-on-Meadows in Newfoundland, Canada. Viking artifacts found in these sites include weapons, jewelry, pottery, coins, and even ships. The discovery of Viking caves and settlements has also sparked controversy and debates among scholars as they try to piece together the fairly complex history of this particular ancient civilization in a pretty big way. Without a doubt, the Vikings mostly are the ancestors of Icelanders, which is quite significant. Prior to the arrival of the Vikings, Iceland had been inhabited by Irish monks, but they had previously given up on the remote and difficult terrain and abandoned the nation without leaving behind even a recorded name. The Irish monks were known masters of the Latin and Greek languages, and they preserved it via the copying of manuscripts and the dissemination of knowledge in various monastic institutions across Ireland. It's thought that for the most part, the monks disappeared, never to be seen again. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to check out our other interesting videos available on our channel.